ഹലോ ഗൈസ്, നമസ്കാരം. എൻ്റെ പേര് വിനയ് മോഹൻ. ഞാനിപ്പോൾ മാരേക്കുളത്താണുള്ളത്. മാരേക്കുളത്ത് യാദൃശ്ചികമായിട്ടൊരു സംഭവം കണ്ടു. ഒരു ചെറിയൊരു വണ്ടി കണ്ടു. അപ്പോൾ ആ വണ്ടി കണ്ടപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ ഓണറേയും വണ്ടിയെക്കുറിച്ച് അറിയാനുള്ളൊരാഗ്രഹം. അങ്ങനെ ആ വണ്ടി ഞാൻ കാണിക്കാം. കവാസാക്കി വേഴ്സസ് 6 ലക്ഷത്തിൻ്റെ വണ്ടിയാണ്. 21 ലിറ്റർ കപ്പാസിറ്റി, 21 ലിറ്റർ തന്നെ മൈലേജും. അതാണ് നമ്മുടെ വണ്ടിയുടെ ഓണർ, ശങ്കർ ചന്ദ്ര സാർ. ഓക്കെ സാർ, ക്യാൻ യു പ്ലീസ് അത് പുള്ളിക്കാരനൊരു ടൂറിസ്റ്റാണ്. അപ്പം പുള്ളിക്കാരൻ ഡൽഹിയിൽ നിന്ന് വരുവാണ്. ഡൽഹിയിൽ നിന്ന് വന്നിട്ട് ഇപ്പോൾ കേരളത്തിൽ എത്തിയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ഇന്നലെയാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ കണ്ടുകിട്ടിയത്. പക്ഷേ യൂഷ്വലി നമ്മൾക്ക് രാത്രി കണ്ടുകിട്ടി പ്രശ്നങ്ങളുള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് ആളെയും കാണാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല, ബൈക്കും കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ രാവിലെ വന്നിട്ട് വെക്ക് ചെയ്തതാണ്. സാർ, ക്യാൻ യു ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ്?
Yes, my name is Shankar Chandra, and I have ridden here from Delhi. So far I have done about 3,500 kilometers on this, and this is my bike, Kawasaki Versys.
ओके सर, कितना दूर इधर से वो प्लान है? वो दिल्ली से आया, किधर से रूट टूर?
अच्छा, the route was I actually came down central India.
Okay.
So I basically went through Uttar Pradesh, then Jhansi, then Jabalpur in MP, and then Hyderabad, and then from Hyderabad I went to Pondicherry, and from Pondicherry I've come here.
Okay, sir, how much time you want to get reach on Kerala? How much time?
Riding time I'd say would be about 10 days. On an average, I ride about 300 kilometers every day.
Yesterday you tell to me. Yesterday you told that you are not a youngster. That's why you had a relaxed ride.
Yes.
So you can over 60.
No, so I normally, okay, so I'm not young and I'm not an expert biker. So I don't really, I'm not into doing stunts and, really racing with other people.
Okay.
It's happened like on the highways, sometimes these young fellows on their motorcycles will come and try and race you. So I tell them, go. It's okay.
Company is also Kawasaki. That's why youngsters want to race.
Yeah, so they think that, because, with my helmet and riding gear on, you can't tell how old the rider is. But, so they think maybe it's a young guy, and they see the Delhi number plate and they think must be a crazy guy. Okay, I might be crazy to do it, but I'm not a racing guy. so yeah, so it's a relaxed. I don't push myself too much. I take a break every 1.5 hours or so. Stop, drink some water, take a cigarette break, have a cold drink or something. Because in this heat, it's very important to stay hydrated.
Yes.
So I made that mistake from Pondi to Trichy. I didn't drink enough water.
Oh.
And I was completely dehydrated, very tired, body was aching. Then I realized it's not a good idea. Though of course, that day Trichy had the highest temperature. It was on the road. It was about 47.
Sir, can you please told about your Kawasaki Versys? I need a customer review.
A customer review?
Yes.
Okay, customer review is that this is an excellent thing.
Okay.
This is a fantastic motorcycle. This is the first time, this is the first time I've actually had a motorcycle this big,
Yeah.
and so it took a little getting used to how this bike behaves. It's a twin cylinder and
Ah.
it's a parallel twin.
Okay.
So both cylinders are like this. Now the thing is that because the pistons are moving up and down in both cylinders, when you're idling, the bike tends to rock a
Ah.
little bit like this. And the first time it happened, the first time I rode it, I thought something was wrong. Why is the bike shaking so much? but then I realized this is how the bike behaves.
Okay.
So
How the bike behaves.
yeah, because before that I'd only ridden an engine,
Ah.
and that's a single cylinder just going up and down,
Yeah.
and it's it's got a lot of low end torque. You don't have to rev it too hard. This one, on the other hand, is not very responsive at 1500 RPM, 2000. So you have to push it to 3000, 3500 before it actually starts behaving itself.
Yeah.
So it's a different style of riding. You get used to it.
Yeah. 650cc, na?
Yeah,
650cc. It cost around 21 lakh,
No, no.
1.5 lakhs.
yeah,
21 liter tank capacity.
20.
So yesterday you told about some this.
Yeah, so this is a tensioner. It's a pre-tensioner.
Okay.
So you can load the spring. You can, so depending on if I have somebody sitting at the back.
Nah.
Now what happens when somebody sits at the back is that the bike will go down like this, right? Because the shock absorber is taking that weight.
Okay.
Now that means that you've already compressed the shock halfway. So now when you go over a bump, the suspension travel becomes less.
Ah.
So you use this to adjust for the weight of the person sitting here. So you can either turn it hard or you can make it soft.
Okay.
When you make it hard, you are adjusting for the weight at the back.
Okay.
And since I ride alone, I usually have it on a medium soft setting. Not very soft, not very hard. It's
It's a normal form, sir. When compared to other brands, it's a normal cushion type form.
the seat is pretty standard.
Pretty standard. Okay, sir. And you told about the
These bags.
bags.
Yeah, so these are
Like yesterday when we met, sir told about the protection and the quality of
Yeah.
that.
yeah. So
Can you please once more?
okay. So these are panniers and a top box. They're made by an Italian company called GV.
GV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
This is
make-
also GV.
This is also the
This is,
engine guard is also GV.
Engine guard is also GV.
Yeah. So the point is that if you're going to buy an expensive motorcycle, and it's a heavy bike, it's not
Yeah.
a light.
Okay.
Obviously, you have to protect the engine,
Okay.
and so these crash guards do a very good job. They're expensive.
They are very expensive.
Yeah. So all of the GV kit that you see is actually pretty expensive.
Yes.
There are cheaper
Ah.
versions available.
Ah.
So I'm not saying that you must buy this. I bought it because to me it was the safest.
Safest.
So
When
I've
you
actually dropped the bike.
yes,
I've been hit from the back, and I'm still here.
but the luggage is protected you.
Luggage- yes.
Because of this
Yeah,
area.
correct.
When the accident when it happens, this area and this area will protect you.
Correct. Because the handlebars
Ah.
get in the
Ah.
way, right? And so you can see I did fall off. So on one side you can see the
Ah.
the wind, whatever it's called.
Okay.
And here because when I fell, this one broke on this side.
Ah, okay.
But the metal guard is still here.
Still there. Metal guard is protected.
Yeah. This is only to protect your fingers from the
Yeah,
wind and the dust. But okay, so I don't have wind and dust today, but I'm always wearing gloves anyway. So
That gives luggage is so good for good for your health.
absolutely, it's excellent for your health. Yeah.
And what about sir cooling system or hydro?
So this is it's a liquid cooled engine. So there's a radiator in front. and inside these cowlings, on this side is the cool. You'll have to on the other. You should actually learn about it.
Yeah, it's when compared to BMW, what's
See, look, BMW is an excellent motorcycle.
excellent motorcycle?
Excellent motorcycle. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
But a similar BMW. Number one, I don't think they have a 650. They've got the 850 GS.
I-50.
And then they've got the 1250 GS.
250 GS.
The 1250 GS I think is 22 lakhs or something. The 850 GS is 15 lakhs. This is 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah.
650
So-
cc on 6.5.
6.5. So to me it didn't make sense to. I mean I sat on the BMW just because I wanted to sit on a BMW. I didn't actually ride it.
When compared to mileage, which is better?
This I don't.
When yesterday we met and you told about the mileage of Kawasaki is around 21 kilometers mileage.
Yeah,
milega.
I've been getting 21
Mileage.
plus, just a little, 21, 22.
Alright. It's a body full of fiber, right, sir?
I think so.
Body
No,
full.
there's bits of metal. This is metal.
Yeah, matter.
The mudguards are metal. No, this is fiber. Yeah, this is not metal.
Fiber है?
Fiber,
पूरा fiber है.
Okay, so the gas tank is
gas tank is
everything. I mean, the insides are all metal. The outside cladding is fiber.
Riding is smoother when compared to riding is so smoother and compared to Royal Enfield or any other.
Well, look, okay, so when I bought the Enfield, that was about 15 some years ago. That's when the Classic 500 had just been launched,
Okay.
and I'm not really ridden very much, and I figured I might as well buy a bike and then learn how to ride it.
Okay.
So my first bike was a 500, and then that crashed and sort of. But it's a very good bike.
Yeah.
It was a very good bike.
Royal Enfield is a good bike.
Yeah. And then they came out with the Interceptor, and I think some cafe racer. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
And I think those guys were 650 twins also.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, like, I tried the Interceptor once. Well, some boys were riding it and I asked if I could try it. And I did, and it's a very good, peppy bike. But, I mean, again, I haven't really ridden it very much, so I can't say how good they are or how bad they are. Some people have really bad experiences. Some people have excellent. And, when I was younger, I remember like everybody, at that time, there was only the Enfield 350.
Yeah.
And, that was the bike to have. And people used to take it to Ladakh even then. So obviously it was good enough to go in those broken roads. So it's a good bike, obviously.
Can you tell me about yours, like your job and your area?
I'd rather not talk about it. I'd rather not talk about
Not
it. You edit that bit out.
It's okay, sir. It's okay. And when it goes to tire, it's a bulky tire, and fat tire.
No, it's not very fast. I think it's a standard. I mean, I think the bike is essentially a Ninja 650. It's only set up differently. So
Engine also same.
Yeah. So at least I think it is. So, I read now that they are going to be introducing the 300cc version of this. Which I'm imagining they're going to take from the Ninja 300. Because, see what happens, this is not a racing bike.
Yes, it's a tourist bike.
It's a tourer. And it's not strictly speaking an adventure bike also because, number one, it doesn't have spoke rims, it's got alloys.
Yeah.
The front tire is pretty small. So is the rear tire. I mean, so this is not really meant for off-roading. and I mean that's okay for me because if I go off-roading I fall off. So so I mostly drive on the highway and on good roads. It is capable of doing soft roading, and I suppose with an expert rider they could even do off-roading, but I can't. So to me the thing is that it's not really about, people ask me, very often they've been asked all this while they've been asking me, how fast does it go, how fast does it go? I don't know, I think maybe 200 kilometers an hour.
Ah.
But the problem is the bike can go 200 kilometers an hour. I can't. So the question to be asked is not really, and this would be my advice to all kinds of bikers, whether they're young or old.
Okay.
Don't get hung up about what the bike can do. The bike can probably do much more than what you can do.
Yes.
Ask what you can do on the bike.
Yeah. People ask because of his Kawasaki.
So yeah, I mean, I heard somewhere that there was this young YouTube biker,
Ah.
and he took one of these hyper bikes, I think it was a Ninja only, and he took it to Nepal. And that I think was 1000 cc's or 1100 or something. And he was doing 300 kilometers an hour on these Nepal roads, and then he hit an old man. Both of them died. What's the point? You want to ride a bike because you enjoy the experience of it. The wind, you can look around. It's a very physical experience. It's not like driving a car.
Yes.
Driving a car, you're sitting there. Here you're like on it. When you steer the bike, you're actually steering it with your whole body.
Yes.
So it's a much more demanding kind of thing, and you can't switch off.
No.
So you always have to be alert. You always have to anticipate. So my mantra is, I believe that every other driver on the road other than me is either an idiot or a maniac. So therefore it is my job to protect myself.
Okay.
So I assume always that if there is a car on my right, he will turn left without warning. If I am overtaking from the right, the guy on my left might turn without warning. And that happens.
Yes.
But because you think that, I'll handle it, I'm an expert, the point is you can't very often. That's why accidents happen.
Okay.
So, my advice to anybody who gets into riding is first get to know yourself.
Yes.
What you are capable of. Then get to know your motorcycle. What does this bike do? How does it handle? If I hit the brakes too hard, will the rear end stand up? If I hit the rear brake too hard, will I spin out of control? What kind of terrain can I drive on safely? And first understand the physics of it, the basics of riding a bike. And trust the bike and trust the physics, and then see what you can do. That would be my advice. That do not please don't be an idiot on small roads like this. Don't overspeed. Become life, but you are risking the life of other people.
Yes.
Maybe you think, okay, I will die, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Or what if, a little child runs and you ram the child? Old man comes, you ram the old man. A couple of women are walking, you go and slam into them. You can be responsible for your own life, but please don't endanger other people's lives.
Yes. Accident.
Yeah, see. Okay, yeah, so the accident happened immediately, right? So yeah, that's the other thing, that you have to develop spatial awareness. You should always know what's going on around you. So a lot of these guys will turn their mirrors over or something.
No.
Or we don't believe in looking at mirrors. But what's happening at the back you should see, no?
Yes.
And the biggest danger riding on the highway, and especially now that these highways have become high speed and good highways. A car coming from behind you is going faster than you. Maybe you are doing 110, maybe you are doing 120. The guy in the car might be doing 140. Okay, the closing speed might only be 20 kilometers an hour. But once he hits you, your inertia is still that, your momentum is still that of 120 kilometers an hour, plus the extra 20 that he's given you. You will go flying, your bike will go in one direction, you will go in another direction. So the real danger of highway driving, in my opinion, is getting rear-ended. So again, that is why these fellows are important. And you should check them often.
Okay.
Left, right, up. Left, right, up. That's the way you should do it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Nice to meet you, sir.
It was a pleasure.
And you talk about a lot about the bike and biking culture. Thank you for giving me one more opportunity. Yesterday we met. He's full of clothing.
all the riding gear, yeah.
Oh yes, on full of rider materials. But yes, at this day he is free. He was free, and he's on a casual dress. That's why you see him on a casual dress because just he's relaxing on in his room. So when I get to the when I get to pass on nearby on his homestay, accidentally we met, and I asked him, please sir, once more please video.
But see, like this, I'm wearing sandals. I'm not going to ride this motorcycle without shoes.
Without shoes.
Just not.
Yes, because it's highly risk.
Yes, because if I slip,
Yes,
then I will destroy my feet.
yes,
I will break every bone in my feet. Or if I slide, then all the skin will come off. What's the point?
yes.
Right, so please don't take, this is to your viewers, bikers, please stupid risks.
Yes.
I know when we are younger we think that we can do everything, but we can't do it. And that is why avoid accidents, ride safe, enjoy the ride.
Yes.
Don't say, oh, I'm going to do 300 kilometers. Like the fastest I have gone was, I think, 120. Yeah, look at that. I mean, the guy just whizzed past.
Yes.
Now imagine if I was just taking my bike out and if it hit me, I'd be dead.
Yes.
So again, so that's why spatial awareness.
It's a huge example.
Yeah. And
If you move a
just
little,
a little bit, yeah.
let's say a little bit,
Yeah.
it's be an accident.
And also remember, so at 120, I was developing tunnel vision.
Yes.
You know, the faster you go, the less you notice what is happening on the side. You become fixated. You know, your vision goes like this. And it's okay on a racetrack if you are a professional racer. But most of you guys are not.
Yes.
And please don't race on the roads.
Yes. If you want to race, you race on race roads.
Yeah, go to a racetrack. Do it. But not on the roads.
Yes.
And this goes for everyone actually, even guys in cars. So they want to do stunts and they want to do like donuts.
They want to show off.
Yeah, go somewhere else and do it.
They want to
There are
show
no
off
people.
their skills.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a skill also.
No, it's very good. But it is practice. Don't do it on the road. Practice in a, like, go to a parking lot or go to an empty ground. Try all your tricks there so that you become a better driver.
Yes.
You become a better rider. But don't try it like on the road where
Yes, that's a good moral, sir.
what a moral, it's just
Yes, sir. It's a moral for everyone because everyone want to know what kind of riding is. You are a professional tourer. I
I'm
think
not
so.
a professional tourer.
I think so.
Okay, fine.
Because of your logics and your ethics, maybe better, far better than others. That's why I am. That's why I mean
Okay.
you are a professional tourer. Because a tourer can be on a relaxed ride.
Yeah.
A tourer can because he want to show off their skills. He doesn't want to show off his skills,
Yeah.
and he just want the relaxation of riding.
Yeah.
So that this kind of talking, this riding, and what main causes. Most of us is don't, even I also don't so think if any little stone if any stability issue, sometimes if any stability issue goes to vehicle, if when I pass to some vehicle, if I unstable from vehicle, I can do nothing.
And unfortunately, the way we hand out licenses here is, there's no real driving test. Nobody's checking your skill level. So, I mean, at least in Delhi, and it's like that. Well, it used to be like that. But I don't know if it's changed now. But yeah, so we don't have proper training schools
Yeah.
for bikers. And I think there should be some. I think there are some. I mean, I
Want
think
to
that
be
has
some.
happened. Huh?
One to some.
One or two, I think.
Yes.
Anyone should go there once. Or at least watch their YouTube videos, practice what they're doing, go into an open Maidan, with a hard surface, try things there, see what it's like on a crumbly surface. Because when the bike slides out from under you, it's going to slide out from under you. So you also have to learn how to get off the bike if it's falling. You've seen all these Formula 1, MotoGP guys, no?
Yeah.
They are like super high paid, very highly trained professionals. And even they fall off their motorcycles.
Okay.
So this is a real thing. If you're going to ride a motorcycle, be sure that you will fall off it.
Yes.
At some point in time.
Yes.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in your entire career as a motorcyclist, you are going to fall.
Okay.
At least I do. So it's always better to be safe.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, sir. Thank you
you
so
very
much.
much.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
And so glad to meet you, sir. Because you gave me one more chance because of the light issue, and it's a huge chance for me. And it's a huge honor to.
Oh, please. I'm just a old guy with a bike here. It doesn't.
Nice. No, sir. You talk a lot much than. It's a symbol, but you detailed how. So I am so glad to. So glad to see you, and I'm glad to upload your video now. Somewhat I don't edit a single scene.
No, please. I mean, make sure
Because it's a one piece.
Okay.
It's a single shot, sir.
Okay.
So what? I don't edit it. If I cut the record, and I will upload.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Oh, by the way, don't cut. Oh, plug for myself.
Yes.
I am planning to start a YouTube channel myself.
Yes.
It's called Old Dude Biker 76.
Old Dude Biker 76.
76.
Oh.